Tonight on CTV News, we have the CSU Night Walk, as well as an exclusive interview with a 22-year-old woman who survived tragedy.
Then later, we take a look at international initiatives on campus and the ASCSU presidential election. All this and more on CTV News, starting now. Good evening, Colorado State University. I'm Sydney Paul.
And I'm Kiara Coles. Tonight we have Emma Iannacone live in the LSC reporting on the ASCSU presidential race. But for now, let's dive into the recent protests on campus. CSU Night took over the LSC Plaza last Thursday, where more than 2,000 people gathered in solidarity. They walked in response to the acts of hate and bias-motivated incidents that keep occurring on campus. The walk's mission was to demonstrate that Rams take care of Rams and that CSU is no place for hate.
Challenge those ideas of hate, that you don't let them go under the radar, that you don't pretend like it's normal.
The CSU Night event began with speakers at Newton Center sharing the importance of uniting. Participants then joined in a walk of solidarity to the LSC Plaza in a demonstration of support for students affected by the racially motivated incidents that occurred on campus.
One of the things I like about this walk is that it's bringing all these people together. So a lot of them they have different backgrounds, they have different political views. Of course, clearly I'm going to be a different political view than most of the people here. And it's bringing us together for a common goal, and I think that's a good thing. And I think the main point of this walk is to get this on the administration's plate, to get this on ASCSU's plate, and hopefully we'll see more discussion about this topic going forward. So furthering the discussion, I would say, is what I want from this walk.
The president of Student Affairs, Blanche Hughes, was just one of many speakers sharing one common message: hate will not be tolerated on campus. Tony Frank says that this event is just one small effort in a long journey we must undertake together as members of this university community.
But by our being here together, we reject that choice. We will not encourage the tormentor. We will not sin through our silence. We will not be remembered for our silence where our friends were attacked.
And I think there's action that needs to be taken. I think this is the first step to action. As for his emails, I'm glad that it's finally being addressed because so much has been done specifically towards students of color or those marginalized communities. So I appreciate the fact that it's being acknowledged. Hopefully there's a solution or more action coming.
Students Against White Supremacy, a coalition of students protesting white supremacy, spoke out against CSU Night and CSU administration for not calling bias-motivated incidents white supremacy. Students Against White Supremacy demanded the removal of the campus conservative group Turning Point USA and said they would not unite at the same event with the group.
Bias-related incidents are acts of white supremacy and should be called as they are. The university has made the choice to do nothing despite their power to make real change. This has created a contradiction that allows white supremacy to thrive on campus. And this creates an unsafe space for marginalized students on campus and also puts the burden of healing from trauma onto those students.
Other CSU-affiliated organizations spoke out at the event regarding coming together as a community.
We have a diverse community, that we respect all perspectives, and that we're able to come together and acknowledge that even though we have our differences, even though some of those differences may make it so we don't always get along, we do have shared commonalities between us, and we should focus on those instead of the things that separate us.
People protesting CSU Night feel the event was not enough to address what they call acts of white supremacy and hate on campus. They hope to see CSU administration take further action to remove all acts of violence towards students on campus. If you or someone you know is experiencing discrimination, you can contact Counseling Services or Student Affairs for help at studentaffairs.colostate.edu or safety.colostate.edu.
Campaigning for ASCSU positions started March 19th, and now there's only one more day left to vote for your ASCSU candidates for President and Vice President, Speaker of the Senate, Senators, and a university t-shirt design. Students can log into their RAM web account and vote in the 2018 ASCSU election under notifications. Voting ends tomorrow, April 4th at 4 in the afternoon.
I'm voting for Simon and Sullivan because their campaign just seemed the most trustworthy, and they worked really hard to reach out to all the different sororities and all the different groups at CSU, and I really appreciate that. So.
And how do you feel about the campaigning overall?
So far so good. Everything seems to be running super smoothly. Everyone's being really nice and professional about it, so it's pretty awesome.
This is not a reflection of CTV or the Collegian's views. We endorse you as the voters. For more information regarding 2018's ASCSU election, you can visit collegian.com.
ASCSU presidential candidate Liam Aubrey announced his campaign has no affiliation with Turning Point USA. In a Facebook post, Aubrey wrote, quote, "On behalf of the Aubrey Roper campaign, we'd like to acknowledge various accusations and take the time to state that Liam Aubrey and the Aubrey Roper campaign are not affiliated with Turning Point USA. Turning Point USA is a national conservative group that has chapters on college campuses across the country, including CSU. Aubrey says he used to be involved with the group, but distanced himself because he doesn't agree with the organization's views. Turning Point USA has been known to help student government campaigns, but according to the ASCSU Elections Code, candidates are not allowed to receive donations that exceed the $1,250 spending limit. Also, according to campaign finance documents obtained by the Collegian, Aubrey and his running mate Lindsay Roper have not received any funding from Turning Point USA.
We now turn to Emma Iannicone, who is live at the debate between the ASCSU presidential campaigns. Emma, what's happening?
Thank you, Sydney. I'm here tonight in the LSC, where campus conservative groups Turning Point USA, Young Americans for Liberty, and College Republicans have invited several of the ASCSU presidential campaigns to talk about their platforms. Now, there are only some of the ASCSU presidential campaigns here tonight. Aubrey Roper was not invited, and there is some speculation as to why. But like we mentioned earlier in the show, we do know that Liam Aubrey denounced Turning Point USA last week and said to the Collegian, quote, "I am a political..." This could give us some indication as to why they are the only presidential campaign absent tonight. Now, Sydney, this is significant because once their meeting is over, the groups will decide who to vote for. And in the past 2 years, the campus Republicans have swung the presidential vote. Both Josh Silva and Daniela Pineda-Saraca were Republican candidates. So this means in the very near future, we could know who has the best chance of winning this year's ASCSU presidential election. But remember that voting does not end until tomorrow at 4 p.m., so you still can cast your ballot if you're planning to. Back to you, Sydney.
Thank you, Emma. You can find out who wins this debate on the collegian.com. Last Wednesday, the university, our students and faculty affiliated with Working Abroad came together to discuss strategies and advice for those who hope to travel in the future. If you're interested in learning more, Colorado State University's International Studies Department provided students with a unique opportunity to learn how language skills and cultural understanding could help advance their future careers.
And our main goal is to try to educate our students, and really when I say our students, I mean all students at CSU who are interested in working internationally, about the kinds of opportunities that are available.
The panel allowed professionals of varying backgrounds to share their experiences working abroad and their advice with those in attendance.
So really I'd encourage people to interview people who've done this, and then if you're thinking about doing a specific program, finding alumni of that program and figuring more about that.
The panelists helped answer questions about a variety of international opportunities and also stressed the importance and relevance of studying abroad.
For them to be saying how important education abroad is, for their study abroad experience was the spark that lit the flame that is their career. I think that's inspiring to hear.
The importance of networking was also highlighted multiple times throughout the day.
I mean, that's why this event is so great. I think, you can get out and talk to people and see what they did and how they were successful in, finding their way into the industry.
As a whole, the event provided opportunities for learning and making connections for both panelists, faculty, and students alike.
I really enjoyed meeting and learning from my fellow panelists because everyone has a very unique and interesting story and a lot of wisdom to share. I really enjoyed being here with students and hearing the questions, very good questions. And then the final thing is I really appreciated the setup, and so having an opportunity to first sit on the panel and then interact informally at the tables with students was great.
If you're interested in learning more about international initiatives on campus, you can contact the Office of International Programs located in Laurel Hall.
At just 22 years old, one woman experienced more tragedy than anyone should ever have to go through. She is using her experiences to advocate for peace, justice, and a hope for a better humanity.
Losing hope, you're getting down and down on yourself, and I remember there was a moment on the road where it was gone, where I straight up asked the one question I've never asked before in my life: why me?
This question came into Amal Kassir's life after witnessing an unthinkable tragedy.
They're getting the updates on my father's sister, Amti Basima. Her name means to smile. Her dead body was the first body they pulled out of the rubble.
Amal's aunt was one of the many who lost their lives when a bomb struck their home in Syria.
And then they kept pulling bodies out, and it was crazy because it's like, I know her, I know her, I know her, I played with her, I climbed the tree with her, I know them.
Seeing the devastation in Syria led Amal to call attention to what she labels tyrants.
Everyone was going to know. I was going to tell the person sitting next to me on an airplane, the gas station clerk. I was going to tell every single person that I met, this is what happened to my family.
I do what I do because I have to.
Through poems and spoken word, Amal addresses social injustices in the world, a lifestyle she started 7 years ago.
This empowers me. Being on a stage, I love to do it.
And one that serves as an educator in the community she visits.
Her experience and some of the insight that she had to share is not one that I think we see or hear very often on this campus. And so, and that's the type of folks we tend to look for the conference, to kind of just continue on the theme of education for our students.
And while Amal has witnessed many tragedies,
how do these people do these things?
She is still a strong believer in the goodness of humanity.
Mankind has made it this far, and we are the facilitators of that. We must stop saying that we are the future because we are the present. Put your feet on the grassroots. Open your ears and listen to the stories around you.
Amal is speaking all over the country throughout the month of April. If you would like to follow her story, you can find her on social media by searching @Amal the Poet. Also, to see what other speakers the Women and Gender Advocacy Center brings to CSU's campus, you can go to their website at wgac.colostate.edu. Well, Sydney, I don't know about you, but this Ram definitely got out and voted in the ASCSU election.
So did I, and one of the best parts about voting is you get one of those cool I voted stickers.
Cool I voted sticker. If you want that sticker, make sure you get out there and vote. That's all the time we have tonight, CSU. If you would like to vote, remember you have until 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. Also, don't go anywhere because Edgar Cedillo has your spring weather update.
Have a
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Welcome back from break rounds. Hope you had a good start to your week. Let's take a look at current conditions right now. 45 degrees out in Fort Collins. Winds still pretty breezy out there, 10 miles an hour with gusts around 12. Staying partly cloudy as well. Looking at tonight's lows, 26 in Fort Collins, matching that in Denver at 26. Colorado Springs looks to warm up, 23 in Pueblo, 25 in Lamar. As you head out west, 25 out in Vail, 21 looks to be the cool spot in Gunnison for the mountains, as well as Alamosa. Telluride 24, and then the warm spot out west looks to be Grand Junction at 34. Looking at tomorrow's forecast, 64 and 36 degrees. It will still be pretty windy out there, so watch out for that. Winds 10 to 15 out of the northwest, so it will still feel pretty cold, so grab a jacket just in case. Winds will be gusting out at 20 miles an hour, and your sunset will be at 7:28 p.m. Looking at tomorrow's highs, we have cloudy, partly cloudy, there we go. 8 a.m. looking at 32 degrees, staying windy out there, 12 miles an hour looks to be your wind, but it does warm up around 52. Looking at 2 p.m., 62 with winds out of 15, and winds will start dying down later in the evening around 5 with temperature at 63, and then at night, temperature at 9 p.m. looks to be at 50 and partly cloudy then. Looking at your 5-day forecast, we have 63 degrees on Wednesday, 63 on Tuesday. Watch out for late rain and snow showers Thursday night. They do carry over to Friday, so we have a cold front coming in Friday. So there is a chance for snow and rain, so watch out for that. We do warm back up on Saturday, but we also have another chance for showers later in that night. Then Sunday, 61 degrees, looking nice and partly cloudy at 61 and 36. That's all I have for weather. Stay tuned with Tara Barrio with sports updates for track and field and baseball.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
From the break, I'm Tara Bauer here to catch you up on all the latest sports news from the weekend. What an exciting weekend it was for our women's softball team as they traveled down to the University of Kansas and took the series win over the Jayhawks. This is the first series win for the Rams in series history, and Game 1 of the Rams came out on top, winning 8-6 in extra innings. As of recently, the Rams once again got on board early in the first game with junior Lauren Buchanan blasting a solo shot right down the right field line. The Rams continue to stay hot, putting up 2 more runs in the top of the third. Kansas registered their first hit in the bottom of the fourth with a single down the middle. Both teams' offense were unable to put up any more runs until Kansas scored in the bottom of the sixth with an RBI single. The Jayhawks' momentum kept going and eventually tied up the score 4-4 going into the game and going into the 7th inning. The game stayed tied until the 11th inning when the CSU sophomore Karina Gamboa doubled to right center to score Ashley Michelin, who started the inning with a walk. Colorado State was so close to ending the game in the 11th with a sealing double play, but unfortunately the Jayhawks scored on fielder's choice. In the top of the 12th, the Rams were able to put up 3 more runs, sealing the lead of 8-6 in the top of the 12th. In Game 2, Kansas came out on fire, putting up 6 runs in the first couple of innings. The Rams were able to put up 3 runs, but couldn't generate any more runs during the 6th, giving Kansas their only win of the series, winning 6-3. The Rams clinched the series win in Game 3 on Saturday, winning 14-6 in just 6 innings. The women's softball team will play next this Friday home against New Mexico starting at 4 p.m. The CSU men's club baseball team swept Colorado Mesa in a 3-game series over the weekend. The Rams' Brandon DeLay was a huge factor in both wins in Game 1 and in Game 3. In Game 1, DeLay sealed the win for the Rams with a 2-run walk-off home run in the bottom of the 10th inning. After the game being constant back-and-forth game, the Rams came out on top, winning 11-9. In Game 3, DeLay executed a bunt, forcing a throwing error and scoring Jake Walker for the game-winning run. The Rams have started out slow in the third game, but came back on top, scoring 5 runs in the last 3 innings of the game. Earlier that day, starting pitcher for the Rams, Phelan Costello, gave the Rams their second win, shutting out the Mesa Mavericks with 6 strikeouts and only allowing 2 hits. The Rams increased their record this weekend to 8-14. The men's baseball team will play this Saturday in a doubleheader in Golden, Colorado, starting at 12 and 2:30. Last Thursday, our CSU men's lacrosse team took on the University of California, Santa Barbara. Senior captain A.J. Sturt had a hat trick, scoring 3 goals for the Rams. Josh Kelly was able to contribute to score, putting up a goal in the third quarter, giving the Rams a 5-3 lead. The fourth quarter changed when the UCSB was able to take the lead 8-5. Sturt was able to put up 1 more goal, giving him the 4th goal, but the Rams were unable to finish out with another giving UCSB a victory of 8-6. Colorado State distance runners had multiple personal bests in NCAA first-round qualifying times on Friday at the San Francisco State Distance Carnival. Cole Rockhold came out on top this weekend with 5,000 meters in 13 minutes and 14.29 seconds, shaving off 12 seconds from his personal best. The junior placed 4th overall as the number 3 collegian in the invitational section of the event, finishing just over 1 second behind the winner. This now ranks Rockhold in the 2nd for program history at Colorado State. Colorado State's distant coach Art Seamers commented on Rockhold's performance. Rockhold did extremely well to run a 13:40 and finished well in a strong field. That was a great step for him, especially in his first 5K of the year. The men's distance runners sealed the first round for the NCAA first round qualifying. The Colorado State track and field team returns to action on Saturday for the Tom Beach Invite in Greeley, Colorado. Well, that's all I have for you tonight. Make sure to tune in next week for more news about Ram Sports and follow our YouTube channel, CTV 11. But don't go just yet. Up next, we have Litos Castro with all the entertainment you need to know.
Listen, I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you judge me for having a problem. No one is going to know that I need help. I need help. I know that no one is going to judge me for having a problem. I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you listen.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back, Rams. I hope you all had a great weekend. I'm Litos Castro here to catch you up on the latest news and entertainment. So let's get started. This Saturday, the Northern Colorado Intertribal Powwow Association, or the NCIPA, will be hosting their 26th annual 2-day powwow. This event invites the people of Fort Collins to experience Native American cultures through music, food, and arts and crafts vendors. The theme of this year's powwow, Our Youth, Our Hope, Our Future. The 2-day celebration will feature over 30 tribes that people can connect with. This is an event for the whole family, and the event will go between 1 and 7 p.m. on Saturday and again on Sunday. CSU's Department of Communication Studies hosts the 3rd annual ACT Human Rights Festival in Fort Collins. The festival starts tomorrow and will go through April 14th. At this event, you can expect to see compelling films that address real problems that we see in our society today. Film directors and guest appearances will even be having Q&A sessions. The festival will be held at the Laurie Student Center Theater, where tickets are just $5 for students. I mean, $5 to see some good movies sounds like a good deal to me. I mean, especially when everything at a movie theater nowadays is super expensive, like $13 a person to ticket. And then if you want anything from the concession stand, you may as well give them your entire wallet because you're not going to walk away with anything else afterwards. Moving on, the Marriott Hotel here in Fort Collins is calling out to all wine lovers. The 36th annual Wine Fest is being held at the hotel on April 6th this Friday. This event will feature more than 500 wines coming from places right here in Colorado to wineries overseas. There will even be a live and silent auctions for a wall of wine rack and 2 $500 cash prizes. Doors will open at 7 p.m. to the general public, and all proceeds of the event go towards Disabled Resource Services. Now, if you do go, just don't be one of those people that acts like they have more class than everyone else. You know, those people of high society, yes? Yeah, don't be that person. Now, as Easter rolled around this past weekend, many people were excited to get involved on the tradition of going on an egg hunt. And the Old Town Library had a little bit of a twist for everyone.
This past Friday, the Old Town Library had organized a night of fun for the teenagers of Fort Collins. Teens from grades 6 through 12 got to come and participate at the event. There was a wide selection of activities ranging from coloring your own basket, watching anime, and even playing some games on some classic consoles of the past. Although, this night wasn't just any regular night of fun.
This is our second year to do the glow-in-the-dark egg hunt at the library.
That's right, a glow-in-the-dark egg hunt.
So it's our second time. We are exploring how to make it better, and we've got about 100 kids here tonight.
The event is intended to give teens the opportunity to relive a fun Easter experience that they may have had while they were growing up.
Getting to do something that they used to do as a little kid, they can't do anymore, but they get to do it here in like a different way.
I even tried to see how many eggs I could find myself, and let's just say, I didn't have much success.
Alright, I can't find a single egg. These kids are good because I've been searching forever and I can't find a single one. But I'm determined, so I am not leaving here until I find an egg tonight. You can count on that.
You're telling me there was one right? No one said anything. There was one right behind. I was out there for hours. Anyway, the library hopes to bring back the egg hunt next year. Well, Rams, that's all the entertainment I have for you tonight. Don't forget to tune in Thursday night where Ryan Christ will talk about some write-in candidates for ASCSU. Have a great night, Rams.